Dan. D? So this is your name. I wrote your name down. D-A-N.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Dan, a nerd. Mitch is tough, cool, hot. What do you think of them?
My name's Daniel.
Dan?
My name's Daniel.
Oh.
And for all you listeners out there, this is Dan and Mitch, the first and only podcast dedicated to the 10 people we know in Turkmenistan.
All 10
Hi,
of them.
Mitch.
All 10 of them, man. And I think, I know one guy's name is William. I don't think he's from there, though. William. Hello, Dan. I come to you from the present to tell you what's happening. What do you think about that?
What's happening?
What is happening? And we start off with the bird book, don't we? We start off with this
Start off with the bird book.
this useless fucking segment where I have
What useless?
one day it's going to come in handy, but I have my native bird book from Australia. It's got 757 birds in it. Dan chooses a random number. We get a bird, and then we move on with our lives. And Dan's going to give me a number.
103.
103. Let's see. You are a striated heron. A striated heron. The word or the bird?
It's outstanding, isn't it?
You're that bird.
I like it.
Yeah, you like every bird so far, though. So that's really
Hey,
cool.
I'm a bird man.
Well, I really think you've chosen some of the most boring names so far. You've chosen some of the most boring...
Mate, you couldn't even say that name.
Well, some of us are dyslexic and learning still, so that's bullying on your part. Dan, we had homework for this week, and neither of us did it. We were meant to watch Godzilla 1998. You got that wrong last week. You kept calling it 1997. Shame on you. Don't roll your eyes, mate. Point out that I was the one that was calling it 1997, not you, you turkey. It was me.
No,
There we go. We got our first pod correction ever. So we'll watch.
Sorry to the people of Turkmenistan for confusing them.
Sorry, guys. I know this was like a big event for you guys, and you probably watched the movie and stayed up late and everything. And you know you're meant to like feed your kids, but you're busy. And so yeah, fuck talking about Godzilla. Then we didn't fucking even get to it. You know what? I'm gonna get straight to a little rant. I'm not sure if it's even a rant. I don't even know why I wrote this down. I wrote it down earlier today, and I thought it made a lot of sense. And, you know, I'm having trouble now actually writing so many fucking topics because I lost it. But here it is. Survival of the fittest. I think it was either Kim or Jay was telling me today, or maybe I made it up in my head, but they're talking about how some grandma was somewhere and she was taking forever to unzip her bum bag and get the money out, and there was like a real heavy wind. Maybe it was at a market and she was paying for something, and a real heavy wind was coming in and blowing the money out of her bum bag, and like... And I just thought in that moment, like, everyone's probably thinking, oh, poor grandma. And I thought in that moment, no! Survival of the fucking fittest. I walk up to that grandma and I just snatch it and say, you're too slow for this modern world. Keep up. What are you going to fucking do about it? And then Jay just said, well, then a bigger guy's just going to come up behind you and grab you. And then I said, I'll just squeal like a little mouse and get out of there and slip down to like a drain or something like that. Survival of the fittest. I got more talents than just strength. I am a mouse. What do you think?
Mate, that's horrible.
Which bit?
All of it. It is really mean and bullying.
I'm never
You're
actually...
just basically, if a woman gives birth to a baby with no legs, you'll be like, no, throw it away.
Mate, if we're being realistically and you know, we needed resources for more important things, yeah. We don't live in that world, but eventually we are going to. And, you know, we're lucky to live in a world where someone didn't walk up and just fucking pummel that grandma and take her cash.
Yeah, we are. You know how we got to that world? By not doing that sort of thing.
No, I think they did quite a lot, and then eventually, now that day...
We stopped.
Yeah. You stopped.
But it reminds me of this time when we were in Ballarat, and I was getting money out of the ATM, and there was a line of people. I think there was about 2 people in front of me, and then the person at the actual machine, and there was some old lady, and she was just standing there, just waiting for like a good 5 minutes, not even pushing anything, because she thought I'm guessing she thought she pushed a button, and then nothing happened, and she just didn't know, like, she wasn't even looking, complaining. 5 minutes. She was just standing there thinking this is a normal machine behavior to just wait 5 minutes.
You know what? You might have flipped me around with that story because I bet she was more content and at peace than I ever have been in my life.
Well, I think she was like 5 minutes. And she wasn't angry at the machine. She wasn't worried. She was just looking around, just like, yeah, this is normal ATM behavior.
Mate, I really respect her. She seems like a really cool lady. I really like that. You know what? Fuck survival of the fittest. Enjoy your life. And maybe some people might think survival of the fittest and take advantage of that, but be like that grandma, and if something doesn't work, just stare off into space and something will eventually happen in your life.
She didn't even know it wasn't working.
That's what I'm saying, but eventually something happened in her life, someone told her, or they moved her on, or something changed. Sometimes you don't have to do anything and change happens. Change finds you. Like when you find change in the couch. Deep in the couch. Yeah, you're right, man. And speaking about deep, this question has been plaguing me lately. But what do you think would be the most delicious looking flower? Like, let's say they're all edible, none of them are poisonous, and you got choice. You got fucking pick of all the fucking flowers.
Okay, there's some yellow one, but I might be confusing it with one that was actually in Willy Wonka that he actually ate.
Yum.
But there's a yellow one, maybe like a tulip or something. I don't know. I'm not a flower guy, mate. I don't know flowers.
Yeah, but you know the normal ones, like a fucking sunflower or a daisy or...
Sunflowers would be like...
An orchid?
If you include the middle bit, and not just the petals, a sunflower...
Because then you get all the delicious seeds. What about an orchid?
An orchid. Orchid comes from the Greek word for testicles, so no thank you.
You wouldn't want to have some testicles?
A tulip looks like a cheeky little snack.
All right, mate, but I didn't know we were going to bring some homophobia into this.
It's not homophobic. I just don't want to eat testicles.
It actually is a fancy-looking flower that probably you wouldn't be able to afford in real life anyway if it was edible, because it would be for the upper echelons. What's the word? Echelons.
Echelons.
Yeah, it's for those guys. And they will
same type of guys that would eat bull testicles.
They'll laugh at you from their ivory towers, looking at you eating your sunflowers, and they say, "Pieces of shit, idiot." There's a big sun There's a big sun in the sky. You don't have to eat that one, you stupid.
Yeah, but I'll be happy with my life.
Yeah, but you say that, but then you look at... No. The only happiness you'll see around you is that grandma. Mate, she was... really grabbing life by its fucking testicles. I bet she had a couple of orchids in her fucking pocket.
I reckon if lavenders didn't smell the way they smelt, they might be pretty delicious.
They are off-putting. It'd be like eating toothpaste or soap. Maybe if we didn't ruin them by doing that. Oh, imagine a lavender toothpaste. I had a lavender latte once.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
I don't know, man, but apparently it's full of like a lot of stuff that boosts your estrogen. So, you know, my titties are flying at the moment. And earlier this week, mate, I forget why we were talking about this, but we we're talking about circumcision and kind of like being circumcised and being uncircumcised and some of the pros and cons in that. And during that discussion, you described the foreskin as the walls of the penis. As someone with foreskin, you have foreskin, I do not. Wow. Walls of the penis. Is that what it's like?
Yeah, retractable walls.
Gross.
But walls nonetheless.
That's really gross, but I did actually read an article yesterday. I think everyone knows this about how the penis, the foreskin is more sensitive, and without it you're probably missing some good sex. But I saw an article that confirmed that yesterday, and they said...
You're not wearing a condom, I'm pretty sure, but yeah.
Huh?
I think with a condom it's the same.
Yeah, but for me, wouldn't it be the condom?
Like if I was to wear the condom, it would be the same as you either way.
Oh, okay, whatever, man. But I feel like you're not...
I'm not doing it. It might be a bit better for you.
You don't seem like a guy that walks around carrying protection, if you know what I mean. You're a bit of a in it and fucking win it kind of guy, aren't you? You're a fucking and chuck it.
Well, I'm getting, I'm not going to say casual sex. What's the regular sex.
An orgy amount of sex. Okay. So,
Orgy amount of sex.
mate, you know what? I'm going to tell everyone now that it wasn't a religious thing why I had my penis cut. The foreskin cut off. It was because the skin was growing over my dick hole and it really hurt to pee. And I was 4 years old, and I remember going and getting it done. And I remember being in the hospital, and I had my Street Sharks action figurine with me, the main guy, the blue shark in his jeans. And the doctor was talking to me, and he's asking me about
Everyone knows he was circumcised.
Yeah, and he was my inspiration. But and the doctor was just being playful, and he was like pointing at my toy, and I bit him with it on his finger, and he went, "Ow!" and he walked off like I really hurt him. And he didn't come back and
split up a bit of your dick.
I don't remember him. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember him coming back and like confirming like that was just a joke. He just walked off, and I was like, "Holy fuck!" I heard him, and he's about to cut my dick, and I'm 4 years old, and I know this. And then I think everything went well. You know, they cut half my dick off, and both balls, and some toes. Yeah, he just kept going.
Like in Robin Hood, Men in Tights with a little guillotine.
Nah, man, it wasn't that. I don't remember it, but I remember waking up with a lot of like I don't know what kind of, it was kind of like cotton fluff, weird stuff taped around my dick, and I had to live with that for a while.
Ever waking up halfway through the surgery and the doctor had a real shark?
No, I don't remember that either, but I think I was quite out. Don't even remember being scared. I was fucking cool. I had my Street Sharks with me. I knew that the streets had my back too. You know?
Yeah, I'm just getting something. Yeah, I get it. You're giving me an idea.
Well, are you going to Google Street Sharks?
Yeah.
Well, that's that it? Yeah? Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Mate, I told you earlier that I got in contact with apparently the newest country in the world. Do you want to hear more or nah?
Yeah. What's the new? Is it somewhere in Africa yet?
No. I'm not sure if it's official. I think it's just they declare it, and they've done a lot of work. It's a new country in California, the Republic of Slowjamistan. The Sultan is Randy R. Dub Williams, and he was like a radio host, and he I don't know how it really started. I was trying to find like the real start of it, but they didn't get too deep. And they just bought some land in California, and they've declared it. They've made a flag. They've made an anthem, and the anthem is just singing about how great this land is, but to an Elton John song, Rocket Man. And my dream is to one day, if I'm traveling in the US, is to show up there and just help if I can. They seem like cool guys. Huh?
Not a real country. I thought you meant a real country.
Why don't you fuck off, man? Everything that you say and your precious Dan Andrews says is truth, huh? These guys say that they take it real serious, man. Apparently they're saying, I didn't get too deep because I'm fucking shit and I can't be bothered. I don't remember half the shit I read anyway. They probably explained it. But they say nothing's stopping them. So,
well, the laws and that still stop them. They're part of California.
No? Republic of Slowjamistan.
They can say that, mate. I can declare this a country. It doesn't make it true.
What if you put more effort into it? It might. And mate, and then I commented on their anthem saying that I have a new goal in life and I'd love to help. And then they just commented back saying Slowjamistan would love to help you and some other shit that I can't remember. So that's like, you know, when a country contacts you, it's good to remember everything. But like I do, I just forget.
In fact, it's already stolen, pretty offensive, because it's already stolen land that they're on.
Hey, mate, what isn't stolen land, mate? Someone stole it off someone who stole it off someone. It's just that these people hit the point when it became taboo.
It was always taboo.
No one ever talks about the people that Maori killed. Only a few thousand years ago.
Okay. I'm not talking about them.
Yeah, no one ever does. Those poor people, the Sasquatch people. They were kind of like...
Is that really their name?
No, there is a name. Jay did study them for a little bit. Studied their ways. He went over there in the bush and he found a boar and he thought that was it and he followed it home and learnt the way of the boar. And
wow.
He says... I swear they're over there. They're little hairy things and they work on all fours and their teeth grow out their face. Jay, that's a bore. Yeah, it was boring. And then we just started watching TV. So I like how you're not too pumped about a fucking country contacting
Not
me.
a real country.
Yeah, that's
Some
your
guy
opinion.
tried that in Western
Are you
Australia.
saying Randy R. Dub Williams is not a real sultan?
Yes.
Are you saying they didn't write Rocket Man?
Yes.
Fuck, man. I think you're
Hey, some
actually...
guy tried that in South Australia. Not South, Western Australia.
Yeah,
Didn't work.
and they probably
Remember all those
succeeded.
people? It's like those people who go around and say, "Oh, I'm a sovereign citizen. Your laws don't apply to me."
Yeah, but I feel like if you got like 100 people and they've bought land and they're giving themselves a flag and a name and calling themselves a republic, it's probably a bit big of a deal than that. So let's see what happens, man.
There's plenty of cult leaders that have tried that as well.
Yeah, plenty of cult leaders, man. But you know what? The cult leader, how they fail, the cult leaders? They don't have an ex-radio host as their sultan, do they? They usually have fucked up, like, pedophiles and shit.
I think a few of them had both.
Or do they eventually become pedophiles? That's the real question. Do cults just allow the leaders to fuck children?
Yeah.
Every single one, eh?
They're brainwashed.
Brainwashed them. They got it. They went past that. They realized they got past that threshold, and they're like, "I think I just hit the point where I can just start banging children. And no one can do anything."
I told you about that Nazi cult leader in Chile, didn't I? Who wanted to be the sole attention of all the children that he reenacted murder. Well, not reenacted. He acted out that he murdered Santa in front of them.
Why did he do that?
Because he didn't want. He wanted to be their only, source of attention. He didn't want them to think Santa Claus could help them, or
That's
Santa Claus was better than him.
pretty fucked up. But mate, imagine having like one slither of that guy's ego and confidence. Holy shit! Imagine actually thinking you're more than just some guy who's eventually going to die, forgotten about, and turn into dust. Imagine thinking you're just something else. You're the Jesus. Like that, like those people that think they're literally the Messiah, and there's like a whole bunch of them out there, and we can't wait to get one of them on the pod. And I think Dan probably sometimes thinks he's Jesus. When he's drunk, he's a bit up himself. And speaking of who can we get on the pod?
Myself, I'm just confident.
Content,
Like a dancer.
content like a dancer. Daniel Dancer. Which celeb is most likely to join us on the pod for an appearance, in your opinion, Dan? Go. Tell the audience. Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks.
Or Bill Murray. If you're going to ask, if your question is, if this is your question, the top 100 celebrities, which I assume Tom Hanks and Bill Murray are in that top 100, yeah?
I'm not saying top 100 at all. I'm just saying celebrities.
No, let me just state my point. Say we asked the top 100 celebrities.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, this is different
in
then.
our pod. Bill Murray or Tom Hanks, I reckon, will be the only ones that would say yes.
Okay, that's completely different from my question. I said all celebrities. I was thinking even someone from fucking Big Brother. Like someone like, honestly, I thought out of like celebrities, Jeffrey Rush, maybe. I feel like if we told him the truth.
I think we have a better chance of Tom Hanks.
Is he on Twitter?
Jeffrey Rush or Tom Hanks?
Jeffrey Rush.
I'm not too sure. I haven't seen him on Twitter.
Well, can you do me a favor, please? And by this time next week, tweet at a celebrity that you honestly think would be on this pod. Just a link of an episode of your choice, and just say, "We suck, and we need you."
I can try, but they've never responded to me before.
That's fine, man. Sometimes you just got to try. Sometimes you got to try in different ways. It's probably not just Twitter.
Elon Musk, no, he wouldn't.
Oh, man. Did you see his tweet to Bernie?
Yeah, he just wants to be funny.
Mate, I'm confused.
He wants to be considered funny.
Yeah, man, he wants to... Yeah, he's definitely
Do you agree? I think it might have been like Cody Johnson who said it, I'm not too sure. But do you reckon he would give up all his money just so people would think he was funny?
Not all his money. He'd give up a huge chunk to maintain, thinking he's like the lord of the internet or something. But, mate, he's still got a huge following. You're cutting up there, man. I can't hear
He'd want to be the meme queen.
Well, there's only room for one meme queen on this world, and we know who that is, don't we, mate? Say it. Say it. Say it. Say my
talking about someone.
Say my name.
Oh, you.
That's not my name.
Mitch.
That's not my name. Yes, we probably talked about this. I created a fucking meme years ago on funnyjunk.com. It was back when memes were just like drawn on paint and black and white. Memes are actually pretty much anything, I don't know. But a lot of them were those comic rage ones or something. And I put it on Funny Junk because this principal, he's like, brought these two kids to his office, and he's like, Billy, you owe Matt an apology. And then Billy turns to Matt and says, sorry. And then the principal grabs both their heads and starts pushing them together and says, now kiss, while biting his bottom lip. And then, I posted it and then started seeing it in different places. The head then became another meme called Fap Guy. Saw it now and then, forgot about it. And then like years later, I saw there was a website called Know Your Meme. And then I saw that page has a view count, and that page alone had about 800,000 views. And I was like, wow, that's fucking sad. I need money from this somehow, please.
An NFT you could have made money off.
Yeah, well, Sam Weaver brought that up to me, and I tried to log into Funny Junk again, and it wasn't working. So I was like, okay, I'll use my laptop. And this was the same day we were going to record our first pod ever, and I shut my laptop to go log in. And to walk up to charge my laptop in the house and log in and Funny Junk and all that. And there was a little stone on my keyboard and it smashed my screen.
Okay, that's upsetting.
$500 and 500 years later, I'm back with a new screen.
Well done.
Thanks, man.
And a new car.
No, the car is in the shop right now, bro. It's in the shop. It's going to cost old Mitchie $2,500 to get it going again.
Yeah.
And we're starting a GoFundMe. No, we're not. Mate, you have a movie idea you wanted to talk about, and you told me it was starring Jack Nicholson. Go.
Stars Jack Nicholson and Bruce Dern.
Tell everyone who the fuck Bruce Dern is. Not everyone knows who that is.
Bruce Dern, if you know good movies and good actors, you'll know Bruce Dern. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as George Spahn. He was in, what's the other two Quentin Tarantino movies he just made?
Fuck me.
Django.
I don't know. You're the guy who knows it. I don't know this actor.
He owned Django and his wife before they escaped. And he was in The Hateful Eight as the old Confederate general or something like that in there.
No, he sounds like a piece of shit.
What?
He sounds like a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, he's really good in everything. He's in other things. He was in Nebraska. If you ever want to see a good movie, that's it.
You know what? I flew over Nebraska when I flew to Mexico. That was so incredibly flat. Incredibly flat. And a small plane, a crop dusting plane or a stunt plane or something like that flew right under us. Like, I thought that was illegal. Anyway, go on.
Okay, anyway, the movie is just the two of them. The whole movie is just two of them sitting on a porch, being old men, and things happen, but it's just them sitting on the porch drinking beers throughout the day.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That'd be good. It's completely set on the porch, and things happen around them, or
things happen. People, their daughter comes and sees them. I don't know.
Both of them don't leave the porch at all.
Well,
do they go inside in the house?
More pickles or something, but yeah.
No, I think they just got a full esky of everything they need out there, or something, whatever old men use, and because I feel like they wouldn't use an esky. Maybe they would. I don't know, but yeah, they're just sitting. I like that, man. And maybe there's a car accident outside their house, and they just watch the whole thing.
All sorts of things could happen. Yeah, and I just think shit. What are their names again? Bruce Dern and Jack Nicholson would be the perfect two old men.
What about one of them's in a wheelchair to give them more excuses why they're not always leaving the porch?
Maybe it doesn't really matter. They're old men. They don't need an excuse. They're old white men. Yeah,
but eventually, like, something's going to happen in the movie. Like, how can you get the whole movie with them staying on a porch?
Maybe one of them can go off, but you don't see where he goes. He just goes in the
Nah,
house,
I
but
think
stays on the porch.
I think they got to stay on the porch the whole movie.
Yeah, one of them. As long as one of them's on the porch and the camera's on the porch.
And what do we call it? The porch?
The porch.
Nah, I hate that name. I
Alright.
hate the movies titled shit like that. But except for the Lighthouse, mate, I like
Grumpy Old Men 3.
it. back
Porch.
back with revenge. But no, I really like that idea, man. We could yeah, I'm trying to think of the events that could happen that are exciting enough, but not exciting enough to get two old men to get off the porch.
Mailman comes.
Hey, Sid. And the guy doesn't even wave. And they're like, yeah, Sid's alright.
Dad, did you bring me my package that I did?
Well, let's just completely steal a scene from Dennis the Menace when all the kids are playing hide and seek in the neighborhood. And the old man notices Dennis was cheating because he's using another little kid to point them out. And so he called that little kid over to his porch and he's like, your dad's going to the ice cream store. He wants to take you with him. And the kid just fucking bolts. And just steal that scene. Because I love that scene. Going to the ice cream store. Oh, that kid was so happy. He was about to get let down hardcore.
You're pretty good, mate. Man, it's a good idea for a movie. I like it. Dennis the Menace was good.
Could
This was the second week in a row we discussed Dennis the Menace.
What did we talk about last week?
I can't remember something about Christopher Lloyd being in it, and I forgot that Christopher Lloyd was in it.
Eating apple slice. Mate, that was a big movie in my life. I watched it a lot of times. I remember the little girl in there made a little boy in there kiss the doll's butt, and it made me.
I remember that part.
It made me uncomfortable. I was like, you can't kiss a bum.
I remember that part.
Oh man,
It looks so weird as well.
do you remember the flower? Like the big part of the movie is the old man's waiting for this like really rare flower to bloom, and he has all his friends over, and fucking Dennis distracts them all as it blooms in that 1 second, then dies. And
sort of.
The old man gets out his fucking old Vietnamese rifle or whatever the fuck, and just goes at him and shoots him in the head.
Wow.
That was Dennis Menace.
No, the old man from Seinfeld's in it.
Which one?
Where they look after all the old people.
Does he play Dennis? Did you know about how they made Dennis the Menace in the US and in the UK at the exact same time?
Yeah, man, it's one of my favourite facts.
Yeah, but the audience doesn't know.
Well, would you like to tell it or shall I? Okay, so I can't remember what year it was, but there's two separate Dennis the Menace cartoons or comics. There's the American one, which was the movie was based on, and there's an English one where Dennis's dad looks like Hitler.
And he goes, you what, mate? You what?
You what, mate? And then they were both released in
You having a laugh?
newspapers. Like, I can't remember which one was first, but it was like within 2-3 days of each other where they both seen in newspapers.
And the English one wears a black and red stripy top, and he has a dog, and he has a doesn't he also have a slingshot?
Right, yeah.
And the
But
American,
I think other Dennis does. I think they both have something.
yeah, the other one has a dog and a slingshot, but blonde hair, and he wears little overalls, and he's just a little shit.
Mm.
And I wonder what that actor did after that.
Oh, I was going to look at that, but
I hope he's not one of those actors that seem to like around after one of them killed themselves. There seems to be a lot of that happened.
He's still alive.
Remember like that what was that, the Never Ending Story kid in the second one? Killed himself. Offed himself.
The last movie he was in was called Golf in the Kingdom in 2010.
Holy shit, mate. Golf in the Kingdom.
Starring Malcolm McDowell, Francis Fisher.
If you pray every day and don't have sex before marriage, you can get a hole in one. You hear that, everybody? Dan has emotions. Show us more emotions, Dan.
Maybe.
Hear that? That was intriguement. I think that's not an emotion. Is that an emotion? Dan?
You the kid with what? Intriguement? I guess so. He was also in Spy Hard.
I don't know which one that is.
Leslie Nielsen.
Spy Hard.
And Rushmore.
I don't know that one, man. But you know what? Because that was fucking dull near the end there. We're going to save it with... Put the intro in here now.
Hit it. Where's
Woolies. Thank you. Where's Woolies? Number 4. Dan, I'm about to go on my phone. I hope it doesn't lag the fuck out of the world. We're good?
So good.
Okay, review number 1. Great meat and chicken, but people are pushed in and out like a herd of cattle. Fruit is always more expensive. 3 stars. Woolworths and BWS have now separated, yet the opening in store remains open. You used to be able to buy soft drinks from inside Woolworths and pay in BWS with your purchase there. But no more. No signs. Nothing to stop you. Shut the opening! 1 star. From Jared. Okay. Okay, the next one. The lady, or should you say non-human, behind the device counter should retire, as she is very, very rude. I am never shopping at Safeway blank again. I have never been called a dog before. I love the animals called dogs, but the behavior was devil emoji, not happy, Jan. 1 star.
Okay.
If you enjoy mixing with the ferals, you found your paradise. 1 star. Here's a nice one. This is my local supermarket in blank. Helpful and friendly staff. Great set out of the shop. Products easy to find. Easy to find. Okay, a largish Woolies with a really good range. Recently added extra self-service registers if you like them. Recently underwent major renovation inside, so the store looks fresh. 4 stars. I got more. When you see their line of customers returning fresh veg, they got home delivered and it's not something I'd give to a pig. Go to markets. 1 star. And I got one last one. I had a fall in Woolworths due to rice on floor. No help. No help from management. Now have ongoing back pain and loss of work. Not happy. Had to give 1 star, otherwise couldn't post. There you go. I'm sorry, there's definitely not many details. I thought the new renovation and about the BWS and home delivery maybe. I don't know. They're the only ones I could find that could give clues. And you've definitely been to it. It's probably not one of your top Woolies, but go.
Is the Ferals one? Is Ferals end?
Yes?
To the area. Is it Frankston?
No!
Oh!
Whoa, good though. That was a good one. If you went more like, because I think I did Frankston last week maybe, or one time before, I'm not sure. As Carrum Downs.
Oh.
You're close though, mate. I think if you thought a little bit harder, you would have got that one.
I can't remember the last time I was at Carrum Downs. I don't even know where the Woolies in Carrum Downs is.
It's near Hungry Jack's.
Okay.
Now you know.
Oh, now I've brought shame to my house.
What's better at What's better at Hungry Jack's?
The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
The guy that does that voice lives down the road from me.
Yeah, that was a nice segue, mate.
Thanks, mate. That's not a segue to anything. Like, I don't have a
Speaking
topic
of Eagles, do you want me to tell you about the movie I watched last night?
And the title of that was, again, for the audience?
Ator!
Again?
The Fighting Eagle.
Ator?
Ator.
The Fighting Eagle.
So, mate, let's just say, if you like the fantasy and direct incest of Game of Thrones plus spiders...
You know I
you
do.
Might like this. You might like this. Yeah, so this is a movie that was made in the 80s. Similar to like your Conan the Barbarian, but even worse. This guy, prophesies this evil tyrant's death at the hands of some guy named Ator. So this guy smuggled the baby Ator away to another family, and then there's no even lead up to it, They just show him as older guy with his sister. And he's like, "I love you, sister, but we can't get married because we're brother and sister."
What's wrong?
And the guy was like all confused, like, "Why can't we marry even though we're brother and sister?" Then goes to his dad and goes, "Dad, I want to marry my sister." And the dad's like, "You have no idea how happy that makes me. You're not really brother and sister, so you can't." Then his sister got kidnapped by the bad guy, and he had to go.
Wait, that was at the beginning?
Every woman he met along the way wanted to have sex with him.
That was at the beginning of the movie? Him being...
That's all.
Were they banging and then he asked to marry, or did he just walk up one day and say, "Marry me"?
No, yeah, they were like, they weren't banging or anything. They were just like out in the forest.
Well, you know.
With a little bear. He had a little pet bear.
That sounds pretty hardcore. I don't know if I like the sound of it. Who's the main guy? Who plays the main guy?
Couldn't tell you anyone.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I couldn't tell you anyone.
Back when he was like 15 years old.
Mate, I wish.
That's alright. I got a little...
And yeah, the bad guy in it was like the Spider King. He had a lot of spiders.
in his pockets.
Yeah, he was just all over him, walking over his head and that.
Like real ones on the actor?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were real, yeah.
Bravery. You know what? That man deserves at least a handshake from the director and a thanks and maybe a paycheck. That's amazing. From the Spider Bites? or did the guy playing Conan the Barbarian go too hard on him?
Maybe. Who knows? But either way, it was terrible.
I'm sorry, man. Out of 10?
It's not the worst movie I saw, so maybe 4.
Okay.
The incest definitely was weird, so maybe a 3.
What is the worst movie you ever saw?
Atlantic Rim.
Is that the sequel to Pacific Rim?
No, it's just a rip-off of Pacific Rim.
Why'd you watch that?
It was on Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, okay. It was meant to be a bad movie. Like, you knew it was going to be bad. Okay, well, that makes sense. Probably the worst movie I ever saw, I think. It's probably split between when they try to redo Fantastic Four. That was just fucking disgusting. Or fucking Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. The first one. I obviously never watched the second one. And yeah, apparently. Or, you know what? A late entrance into The Thing. Oh, fuck, I just had it in my head. What was it? Oh, I stopped it halfway, so I can't even judge. But the Suicide Squad, the Will Smith one. Holy fuck.
Don't blame you there.
Horrible movies, man.
Yeah, but they're big, yeah.
And one of
big blockbusters.
One of my favorite movies I used to rent as a kid. This is a weird paradox I had as a kid. This fucked with me as a kid. But anyway, all the time when I'd go to the store, not all the time, when I was probably like, I don't know, for a couple years of my youth, 6 or 7, and I go to the store, video store, and there'd be this video called Chicken Park, like Jurassic Park or something like that. And it was like, had the same video cover, but with a chicken and stuff. And I'd rent that and watch it over and over again. And I remember as a kid that it used to be like a 2-hour movie, or like at least like a long movie, as long as Jurassic Park. And then a couple of years after renting it, one time I rented it again, and it went for 45 minutes. And I was really confused, and I read the back of it, and it says 45 minutes. And I'm like, what the fuck? Did I just like grow up in that moment? Are things longer now? Like, you know, as you grow up, how a year becomes quicker. It's like that. Did I just become a certain age where it was like, wow, I thought 45 minutes was a long time. Maybe that happened. Or maybe there was an original Chicken Park out there that I'm missing out on, that I couldn't really fully watch again for years.
Maybe you just watched the original one was just Jurassic Park.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I got confused sometimes. I'd grab Chicken Park and then sometimes I'd grab Jurassic Park and then I'd just be like, I don't know what's going on, but mate, Sam Neill's a hottie. But Chicken Park, man, I think that's what it's called. I gotta Google that again. I got a little hype.
Speaking of Jurassic Park,
yeah,
Bruce Dern is the woman's father
in Jurassic Park.
Like in real life.
Oh, okay. Laura Dern. Wow, mate. For $150, would you eat nothing but raw egg and flour for one day?
but like mixed together.
You can do whatever you want, but they're the only two ingredients you have.
$150.
Yeah.
Yeah, like how often do I have to eat it? Like just for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Whenever you get hungry, you can last the whole day if you don't want to eat anything. But if you want to eat anything, it's raw egg and flour.
Fine, I might not eat it at all then. Yeah.
How about if we extend that?
Do I have to eat them? Like,
wait,
if I eat raw egg, do I have to eat flour?
no.
So I could just eat the raw eggs.
Shit. Okay, what about just flour?
That's different.
Why? Would you probably
I
say?
don't know if that's even possible.
Would you probably say, "Oh, I'd probably eat a tulip"? And I'm like, wrong flour, dickhead.
No, I just don't think it'd be possible to be like.
You'd be struggling to get it down, mate. I know, but like, I don't know. Just deal with it. You're a dickhead.
Well, I could give it a go.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm not going to fund it, but can you just for one day by this time next week let me know how that goes?
No.
Well, you wouldn't do it for free just for the fucking pod?
No.
Well, you know what? Turkmenistan out there. Wait, I got to see what the word is again. Hosh Gildenez. Can you please fund us? We need $150. That's $15 from all of you. If you send that to dan.com.au, thanks. And Dan can eat some flour and egg for a day. Just flour.
$15 Australian Turkmenistan.
Hey, mate, I'm not racist. I'll accept any money, so that's on you. You told me to write down Gollum the hero, ? In Lord of the Rings. Gollum's the hero.
Is he not the hero?
Explain. How is he the hero?
No, he led them most of the way. He didn't rat out Bilbo and that when he could have, except for under extreme pressure, like torture.
Is that really it?
And, Sam wouldn't have pushed Frodo into the fire.
What fire?
Well, lava.
Sam wouldn't have pushed Frodo into the... What?
Well, Frodo was going to keep the ring.
Oh.
Sam just...
Mate, like, I'm not here to argue with you. You just got to remember there's an audience out there who might disagree with you.
Well, they can disagree all they want, but they're wrong.
You know what? He was suffering horrible, horrible mental disorder. And I think they should have really sat down with him after the whole Faramir incident and been like, seriously, man, like, holy shit. Like, we had to do that. Like, there was in the extended...
Why did they do that? I always wondered that when watching it. It's like, why didn't they just tell Smeagol, like, Smeagol?
No, they did. Extended version. Sam, while they're walking, is like, tells him a little bit like, oh, Master Frodo had to do that. You have to understand. And he's like, yeah, right. You're right, mate. You fucking can't. And he's walking off. And he explains it a little bit, but doesn't get deep into it. And, yeah, I bet if they just both sat him down.
Frodo, when he was loose, like, Smeagol, come here, mate. Or else you're going to get shot.
Yeah, I know. He should have done that. He should have, and then afterwards, they should have gone to a river, caught Smeagol, the biggest fucking fish they could find, give it to him, sat him down, and just said, listen, mate, like, we had to. I'm so sorry about that. Like, they'll bet to fucking kill all three of us. I'm so sorry. I didn't know they were going to do that to you. And imagine that. He would have been like, all right, I was plotting against you. There's a giant spider we have to deal with. I'm sorry. We have to deal with it no matter what. But I wasn't going to tell you. I'm really scared. I don't know what to do. The fat one's been eating all the bread.
I wasn't lying about that.
He does scoff his face. Trust me, sir. And Sam's like taking him away. He hates it all. And he really does.
The fat one's been eating all the words. Sam turns around.
He's got like fucking a donut. And mate, I don't know if Smeagol's a hero, but he's certainly not a bad guy.
I mean, except for when he killed Deagle.
Nah, that guy was such an asshole. It was Smeagol's birthday. And he
was just like, Dan, give it to me.
Dan, and he wants it.
I want it.
Man, it was his birthday and I want it.
Unless that's like tradition and where he comes from.
What, if you find a ring and it's your birthday and you want it, you get it?
Well, just if it's your birthday, you can just claim one thing.
Nah, I think it'd be like us. Like, if you, I don't know, let's say we're at the beach and you find like a cool medieval sword, and I just look at it and it's February 4th, and I just look at you and say, but I want it. Would you give it to me?
No.
But I want it. And it's my birthday. Oh, man. What have I got written down here, man? There's a Beaner community. Fuck, this is so dull. There's a Beaner community get-together lunch thing on Sunday in the little town of Beaner, where there's just one curtain store and a couple of houses and now a rail trail. And we're meeting up, having a lunch, and discuss what we could do to improve Beaner. And I wanted to know if Dan had any ideas to improve Beaner. Curtain store.
First time you told me before the pod, the first thing that came to my head was a giant slide.
Where does it go?
I don't know, man. I don't know Beaner perfectly.
Well, then a giant...
So I can't tell you.
There is a little park.
But like a big one, like...
And it just
Goes
goes,
like
it goes into
whoops.
someone's dam on their farm nearby.
No, just a normal slide, not a
Just-
water slide.
And it just goes straight into some gravel.
Goes next to the dam.
What?
Goes next to the
Straight into gravel.
sand pit.
Okay. I don't know if that would help.
The world's biggest slide. Oh, and make it in the shape of one of those big worms.
Oh, that'd be such a good idea. A big slide worm.
Yeah, there you go. Bring that.
You go into their mouth and you can read the facts as you go down. Like what the dirt, when they eat whatever the fuck they eat in the ground, dirt or whatever. You
Yeah,
read-
it'd be like something you'd see at Science Works or something.
Mate, that's pretty cool. And you go down and you read it, and you become what they eat, and you read what happens to you as you go down, and then you're becoming the stuff, the nutrients, the feeds. You eat shit.
Right, there you go. That's my idea.
That's pretty good. I probably should write that down. But you know what? It might be all in, it won't matter because Sunday looks like it's going to fucking rain. Quite bad.
Yeah.
Mate, we are blessed to have the weekends, every weekend, to be raining. We are blessed.
We had that one week
When?
when we went to the beach.
That was a Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Every fucking weekend, man. And my car's not here right now. So, you know, I was like, that's not too bad. I got a bike. I can still go to the town and stuff. And then it's the weekend. It's fucking coming down hard. And so I can't even do that. I'm trapped again. It's like lockdown again.
You're just not allowed to go out.
Fucking thanks, Dan Andrews.
Oh,
He did that to my engine. He did it. I gotta blame someone, man. It sucks. I gotta blame someone. Who the fuck do I blame for this?
I don't know. Was Jay looking at your engine?
Nah.
Smacking it?
Yeah. Well, he does his daily hammering. He does it to all the vehicles. He says it makes it go faster, and you don't need to deal with those pesky mechanics anymore. Always in your hair saying, "Oh, sir, we don't think you should be driving around without windscreen." And he says, "Why?" And they say, I don't know, man. They just say he doesn't like being told what to do, and he's got no doors, and he's got no like brakes, and they're just getting up in his grill, and he's like, "I thought this was America. I can do what I want." Hey, mate, you know what I've noticed around Currumborough, the town I live near? There's a lot of street names called Sanders. And I was thinking, you get a little sign, you write Bernie, you go around, you put them on top of each one. Bernie Sanders
Why are there
Street.
so many with the same street?
I don't know, there's 3. There's 2 within the town area, and then there's one like just out. And then there's also a street name near Sanders called ALP, Australian Labor Party.
I'm so confused. Doesn't the postman get confused?
No one thinks or cares about the postman. Why do you think they go around killing everyone all the time? All the time. Newman.
Because the mail doesn't stop, mate.
The mail doesn't stop unless it's a lockdown and it slows down and then they lose everything. It took like, I think at least 9 weeks. My mum sent me a package from Melbourne to get to. I was in South Australia. It took 9 weeks to get there, and I was leaving that day, and I was like waiting at the post office, and it came the day. I was like, okay, I gotta go, and then it came, and it was saved. And then
What was the package?
had my GoPro in it and some other stuff. And then when I was in New Zealand, she sent me what was it? Something. Oh, my new bank card and some Tim Tams. And that got completely lost in the mail in New Zealand. And it got to the little town I was in, and I went to the post office where it is at, and they said, "Oh no, it's been taken out." And then they came back to me like, "Oh no, it hasn't been taken out." And then they looked around everywhere, and they're like, "We don't know where it is. It says it's here." And then they said they'll just get back to me and find out what happened. And then I never heard from them. And then a few months later, Mum texted me saying the package arrived back at home. So that was nice.
That's like when I was living in London, I sent a package back home, and they're like, "Yeah, you never got it, you never got it." So I called up the post office people, and they're like, "Yeah, we sent it back to you." It's like, "I never got it." It's like, "Hold on, is this your address?" And they said some random address. Like, "No, my address is this." It's like, "Oh yeah, I can see that on the package." So why didn't you send that to me?
Mate, they can be quite confusing. Although I do love the little post office here in town in Caranborough. They're very nice people. Always a short line, and there's always old people in the line that you have a little chat with. One of the older ladies was playing with the toys, like on the shelves as you line up. She was click one of the buttons, and it fucking started playing really loud. And then we had a little chat about it, talking about kids these days. And you know what? It felt good to finally relate to someone.
Good to hear, man. Good to hear.
A 90-year-old lady. Kids these days. And I said, "You're fucking right. You're fucking right, Gladys. Gladys, you're fucking right." And, she just stopped talking to me, and had to leave the post office. Mate, I just checked how long we've been recording for. 51 whole British minutes. Do you want to send us out on this day?
On this day, 16th of November, 2021. Hold on, where's the website? There we go. On this day, in 1776, British troops capture Fort Washington during the American Revolution.
Who does?
British troops.
They won in the end.
On the year 13, General Tiberius' triumphant procession through Rome after the siege of Germany.
That's cool.
Tsar Ivan the Terrible attacks his son and heir, Ivan Ivanovich, with a scepter after an argument leading to the son's death 3 days later.
That's pretty brutal.
Yeah, mate.
Okay, man.
Any film?
Nah, we always seem to get them pretty boring shit, but it's a weird thing that you said British after my British minutes. That's a conspiracy we can talk about for another day. But, man, I think that's all right for the on this day thing. I think we can call it. I think you're still Googling shit. I can see it in the reflection of your glasses. It looks like, if I look close enough, it looks like Robert De Niro showering completely naked. Is that photoshopped, Robert De Niro?
Yeah, on this day, mate. De Niro showered.
Oh, man, and got caught doing it. And Dan's fucking Googling it. He likes a bit of Robert De Niro. It's something not everyone knows about old Dan. He's got posters everywhere. You know, like people have like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like muscle posters a lot to inspire them. He just has like Robert De Niro kind of like muscle posters everywhere, like shirtless Robert De Niro. And Cameron Dawson walks in and he goes, "He's not even that ripped." And Dan thinks, "That's not cool, mate." And it's inspired Dan to go bouldering again, and he's working on his forearms to impress Robert De Niro. So if anyone out there knows, if anyone knows Robert De Niro out there, just give him an old texty tutu, and Dan will, appreciate it and probably smile for once in this pod. And all right, Dan, you got anything to close us out on? No?
No.
No, nothing.
No.
Who are you doing right now? Is that Robert De Niro?
Robert De Niro.
That's horrible. Looks like, why are you perking your lips like you're kissing a little baby's forehead?
I'm feeling sad.
That wasn't even English.
That's how he looks. Anyway, good night, Menace Dan. We love you, babe.
Yeah.